啊！我哋嘅船嚟啦，雖然唔係話真係等咗好耐，但係咧呢度咧好食風啊！咁所以你睇到個個人咧都着翻晒啲衫，咁 Minnie 咧斯斯縮縮咁嘅有，咁我着咗呢件咁嘅雨褸咧，我都覺得有少少凍。咁而家落緊船啊啲人，咁佢喺個過程當中咧就嚟去查我哋飛。好，查完飛啦，而家等上船。Minnie 咧已經主動要求咧，佢唔想上架，一入咧就要入去咧室內嗰啲，即係下等艙，因為咧凍到飛起啊佢。冷得我騰震啊！而家終於上船可以，隻船其實應該就冇乜特別嘅，哈哈。呢度都好似入監獄咁。Minnie 繼續喺度捉妖，一於話之你，捉咗啲妖咧就入個波度，咁呢個咧捉咗啲人咧就入個監獄度，咁我哋就坐喺3等艙。佢呢個煲鋪再包埋上魔鬼島。咁係幾抵嘅，呢度排隊買嘢食，咁小食部價錢都唔錯。好大路啊！本來係諗住整個軍事要塞。
could no longer operate the military prison. It was too expensive. And that's one of the things about Alcatraz. There is no naturally occurring water on Alcatraz. It has to be shipped in, and it's super expensive to operate. But for the Bureau of Prisons, it was a perfect opportunity. Given its location, it's isolated, it's far from a mile and a half or so from the coastline of San Francisco, and it would have been an ideal place to house the most notorious prisoners. You'll be hearing a lot more about that phase of Alcatraz's history. But during the 1920s and 30s, there were a series of violent escapes and riots within the maximum security prisons across the country. And Alcatraz was created to solve these problems.
一個監獄解決所有問題，永遠逃唔到喐。哇！啲浪咁大。
So you'll be hearing quite a bit about Supermax Alcatraz when you arrive at the cell house and begin the audio tour. So I don't want to spoil any of that for you. Came from across the North American continent, and they wanted to bring attention to the civil rights, the human rights, and the social justice issues that were impacting indigenous people. And Alcatraz was the perfect place to stage that.
跟住就佔領咗19個月啦。
So their focus was to reassert sovereignty and to determine their own future.
有趣啊！
And Alcatraz was viewed as an important and symbolic starting point.
工廠啊！
And the vestiges or the remains of that occupation are visible in the red signs that you can see beginning at the dock. Strategic points such as the water tower.
即係佢整咗啲 symbol 喺度咧，就宣示嗰個主權同
The occupation ended in 1971 when the occupiers were forcibly removed. Many of them had already left, but there were a handful, maybe 20, were remaining, but they were escorted off the island by the federal marshals. And after this is when Alcatraz became part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area and part of the National Park System. And this was in 1972. And today, Alcatraz has served as a national park much longer than it served as a federal prison. I want to
都幾廿年啦，
draw your attention
National Park。
to the invisible Golden Gate Bridge, but there's just beautiful light, and out there in the ocean there seems to be a regatta or something happening
啊，嗰個燈塔
right
啦，
beneath, and there's a sunburst.
嗰個模型唔知點解冇鬼咗個燈塔。
So we'll be landing on Alcatraz in just a few minutes, and before we begin our tours, I just want to give you some important information. So it's important to understand that eating, drinking, and smoking are allowed only on the dock. So the only beverage that's allowed, or water is allowed anywhere on the island, but any other beverage must be consumed at the dock. And there's a designated smoking area. If you need to smoke, please ask anyone on the dock, any employee on the dock, and they'll be happy to direct you to where the smoking area is.
哇，咁有趣！
Another important announcement is about barricaded areas. As you can see, it's going to get dark and foggy, and there are lots of areas that are barricaded off, and this is for your safety. So please do not go beyond any barricaded areas. And an important reminder is that Alcatraz is a national park, so you're entering a national park, and it's kind of like Vegas. Whatever is on the island stays on the island. So you can't take leaves or rocks or feathers. Everything on the island is protected. There are restrooms at the dock and also at the cell house level.
即係個 dock 上
And
嗰度
if at any time you need first aid, please ask any employee for assistance. And the road to the top of Alcatraz is steep, and with the fog coming down, it's going to be slippery. So please watch your step and take your time going up and down the hill. And at this time, if you are someone that has mobility needs and needs to use the tram, please start making your way to the exit so that you will be the first to get off the boat. And everyone will be on a guided tour up the hill, and you'll meet your guide at the dock and then walk up to the cell house as a group to pick up your audio tour. And after the cell house audio tour, there will be several other programs, and there is a signboard that will direct you and let you know what time and where the programs are
哇，
happening.
好正喎！有好多唔同嘅 program 啊，有咩 program 啊？
So I want you to welcome you to Alcatraz and thank you for coming to visit us. We have
佔領魔鬼島嘅時候咧，畫咗呢啲字啊，係咯，佢自己都照自己做印第安人，幾有趣。咁啊叫呢個United聯合印第安人嘅呢個產權。跟住隻海鷗話：呢個係我嘅地頭啊！你講乜嘢啊？哇！落船啊！哇！成班監躉同我行埋一邊啊嘛！快啲咁啊！哦，呢班小朋友咧就唔知點解仲繼續喺嗰個上邊啊！佢之前就係因為呢班小朋友佢搭船上咗嚟觀光定 whatever， 咁然之後賴死唔走啊嘛，
take you on up the hill. Again, thank you so much for coming to visit us this evening.
嗱，夜晚團咧佢就會有呢個 tour，就唔係自由活動咁嘅性質咯。